we're back. I'm Tiffany Schlane. I'm the co-founder of 50/50 Day and director of the film 50/50. And I am very much looking forward to this next conversation. We have Laura Liswood, who is a big inspiration for me for making 50/50. And she is going to be interviewing the incredible first president of Iceland, and such an inspiration to, I think, the world in how to lead a country and how to make real change. So I'm so grateful. I want to remind all the viewers that you can ask questions on Facebook Live in the comments section, or if you're watching in other ways, you can use the hashtag getting to 50/50, which is the goal, and you can pop your questions in there and we'll feed them on through. So take it away, Laura.
Thank you very much, Tiffany. It's wonderful to be able to do this and to be with President Vigdis, my dear friend, President Vigdis, who we do all honor. President Vigdis?
Hello, Laura. Wonderful to see you.
Wonderful to see you. So you are the first president of Iceland, first woman president in the world. You are also, as far as for me, the co-founder of the Council of Women World Leaders and extraordinary support of that. So it's delightful to be able to see you and hopefully see you in Iceland sometime soon. My first question for you is that, how do you think that as you as president, a woman president in Iceland, how did that really change the lives of women in Iceland?
Well, it changed quite a lot, frankly speaking, because young girls, women, they got more confidence in themselves. They stopped excusing themselves for being there, actually. And it has, throughout the years, been very good for Iceland. We have, for instance, 48% in the parliament, women. And approximately the same in the city council of our capital. When it comes to the university, and women are, of course, as everywhere in the world now, really outnumbering the boys. And I'm starting to get boy-friendly in the sense that I have an ambition for the boys too.
You always have had an ambition for both men and women, and boys and girls. So you being the first woman president, how much have you seen changing since you first took office in terms of women, not just in Iceland, but globally?
Well, I think that all over, at least in Europe, things have very much changed these last years. Fortunately, especially in the Nordic countries, of course, that are very democratic. But also on the continent of Europe. I don't know about America, but I see it in Europe very much. And yeah, women, the voice of women in the world are getting stronger. That is definitely so.
Well, I would agree with you on many fronts. I think there appears to be still many challenges for women in the United States and in other countries. But I agree that the Nordic countries seem to have figured this out. And why is it? What do you think are the key ingredients that have made the Nordic countries so forceful in the march toward equality?
Well, the Nordic countries are very democratic, and they, of course, democracy is for both men and women, or women and men. And I think that women have been accepted more easily because of this democracy. But it is gradually coming, however, and I think that the Nordic countries are role models for other countries in this sense.
They've definitely been role models. You know, when the council meets with other women, heads of state and government, you still hear some of the people saying that women aren't treated quite the same as men, whether it's in the press or, how they're. I remember you once saying that the tolerance for mistakes for women was less than the tolerance for mistakes for men. Are you still seeing that?
Well, we have talked about this before, Laura, you and and I have this theory that men can be a little bit jealous of women because they know that they're as clever as themselves. Being jealous of somebody, you try to wipe this person aside. But I never tire of repeating it, all fathers know that the daughters and the sons have equal intelligence because the sons and the daughters are half themselves. Is that correct? And it's very important that the boys, the sons, realize that the sisters are as intelligent as they themselves. And then it comes to education. I have often said it to young girls or young women in the white walls, where I met young women. Try to take the same education as your brother. It hasn't to be in the same field, but it has to be of same quality, same chances, with the same chances to continue your life.
Yes. What would you say to the many young women who are watching here today on this whole 50-50 day? Some young women, I think, are reluctant to get into politics. They don't see it as something that they feel is either important, or that they just don't want to get into that rough and tumble part of politics. What would you say to these young women?
Well, first and foremost, I'd say don't be afraid of politics. It's not worth it to be afraid of it. But try to do something in society that is of equal value to what men are doing, or your brothers do.
Yes, I think that's probably the most important thing. What is it that women can contribute to make societies better? Tell me a little bit more about what you're doing around the Language Institute, because that's an extraordinarily important part. And you have the Language Institute now that's up and running to that.
Well, I have a great pleasure these days that we are opening up here in Iceland an international language institute that is an international center for multilingualism and intercultural understanding, which is very important in the world. And it is the only one of the kind. And we are in cooperation with UNESCO in Paris. That's to say the Cultural Institute of the United Nations. And we look forward to be world famous in this sense here in Iceland.
Well, it is world famous, and your efforts in this regard are quite world famous. Tell me, you co-founded the council with me. I was so honored to be able to do that with you. What really is the value of these kinds of councils of women leaders or summits bringing women leaders together, which we'll be doing in Iceland in November with you? What do you see as the value of that?
It's always of great value to stand together. The same aim. And we have the same aim, actually, when we come to the core of the matter, women of the world. And if we can help the women that are subdued in this world, I think that is essential and of a very great importance.
That women could collectively create a message for the world about the equality of women or the need for equality. Is that how you see something like the council, the importance of that?
Yeah, definitely, because women have to prove in so many societies, women have to prove that they have equal qualities with men. I mean, they're not inferior to men. And they may be physically weaker, not being able to lift a lorry or whatever asked of men, but they are not weaker when it comes to the mind.
No. So there's, this 50-50 day, the whole theory behind it, the efforts that Tiffany and her team are doing is to really make the notion of 50-50 true equality that there, you know, as we know, there are a substantial number of countries who've never had a woman head of state or head of government. What do you have some advice for those countries, for those women who live in those countries, to get more women as heads of state and government?
The advice is pay more attention to the intellect of women of the world, because they are really intellectuals, or intelligence, should I say.
Intelligence. In other words, we need the intelligence of men, and we need the intelligence of women together. What do you think might be stopping countries from having a woman president of the country?
First and foremost, tradition. Not daring to break the glass ceiling, so to speak. Not to be daring to break old traditions. Modern times, with all the inventions, modern times, really need to break the news that have been hidden for so many years, that women can, they are able, they are capable of so many things. Just as men.
Thank you. You both are so wonderful. I could listen to you all day, and it was just an honor to have you both speaking about this topic. We have interviews happening every half hour, and this very exciting day with over 65 countries participating. And this day would not have been complete without having both of your perspectives on this issue. So I want to thank both of you for participating and all the important work you do to getting to 50-50. So thank you. I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone watching. Thank you both for the amazing work you do.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Laura.
Bye-bye, Vigdis. Good to talk with you. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You.